Well, folks, here it is, Halloween night. We've made it through the first season of 31 Nights, 31 Frights. I hope you've enjoyed the journey as much as we have here at Grimm's Scary Tales. And I hope that you've maybe discovered movies that you didn't know about, or maybe took a pass on some that you might have otherwise tried out for yourself. For the season finale, what better film to end on than the one that takes its name from this very night? That's right, tonight we review the one, the only, the iconic, the classic, John Carpenter's Halloween. Halloween was released on October 27th, 1978, about 3 months before I was born, if you care. It's rated R and was written by John Carpenter and Deborah Hill in one of their first collaborative efforts, and of course directed by John Carpenter. The amazing cast includes Donald Pleasence as Sam Loomis, Jamie Lee Curtis as Laurie Strode, Nancy Kyes as Annie, PJ Soles as Linda, and we have Brian Andrews as Tommy Doyle and Kyle Richards as Lindsay Wallace.
I met this 6-year-old child with this blank, pale, emotionless face and the blackest eyes, the devil's eyes.
In 1963, a 6-year-old boy named Michael Myers inexplicably murders his older sister Judith on Halloween night. 15 years later, his doctor, Sam Loomis, and Marion Chambers. Wait. Loomis? Marion? I get the vibe that somebody might have liked Psycho. Loomis and Chambers arrive to take Michael to court, where his fate will ultimately be determined, whether or not he'll stay locked up in a sanitarium for the rest of his life or go to prison. Michael, however, manages to escape Smith's Grove just before they arrive, and actually somehow manages to steal their car right out from under them. Dr. Loomis pursues him and does his best to warn those in Michael's hometown of Haddonfield that he's come home to kill. Michael begins pursuing a trio of high school girls, seemingly at random: Annie, Linda, and Laurie, the latter being played by Janet Leigh's daughter, Jamie Lee Curtis. Oh yeah, the psycho is definitely strong with this film. What awaits the friends and their charges and Dr. Loomis is a night of terror that none of them will ever soon forget. To hear the story of how this film was made, one would think that it was bound for the recycle bin of film history. Carpenter has recounted many times that he expected the film to completely tank. It was made for a song in the era, but somehow in that low-budget, this has to succeed fervor, Carpenter, Hill, the cast and crew all pulled off a truly iconic horror film that set and raised the bar for the slasher genre. In his original form, the Shape, as Michael Myers was called in this script, was unique and terrifying. His plain white mask was a stroke of genius, as it allowed the audience to project their own feelings and fears onto it. Everyone sees it differently in different scenes, depending on their own state of mind. The blank slate prevented any real emotions from slipping out, so the killer was just the Shape, a blank face bent on murdering innocent teenagers and anyone else who gets in the way. The success of Halloween colored every slasher fic thereafter, including its own sequels. But forgetting about where the series went from there, or even where it may still go in the future, John Carpenter's classic film has stood the test of time and is every bit as creepy and enthralling today as it was when it came out. Okay, so it's not all good. I mean, what's the deal with the Shape pinning Linda's boyfriend to the wall with a little teeny butcher's knife? I mean, it's a big knife, but it's not big enough to go through somebody's torso and deep enough into the wall to prevent them from just falling over. Seriously, that's physically impossible and a little bit ridiculous.
What's the boogeyman?
As a matter of fact, it was.
Time for the verdict. In what might be the easiest review of the entire month, Halloween gets 5 Grimms. I'm sure you've seen it, but if you haven't, give it a go. Forget the sequels, forget the reboots. Just go watch this movie as it was originally intended. You won't regret it. And on that note, happy Halloween from everybody at Grimm Scary Tales. Thank you for watching this first season of 31 Nights, 31 Frights. And we look forward to next October, where we will take on 31 more horror movies. Happy Halloween.